In today's Bits and Bobs video, we're going to be fixing a latch on a hidden bookcase door, finishing off some decking steps, painting my mum's bathroom, making a carabiner locking mechanism for a storage box, and replacing a rotten piece of decking. With the weather looking gloomy, we started off finishing the outdoor decking steps. I've been asked to add in a fourth step, so first we needed to pull up a few planks and shorten the top platform. I moved the support pieces back by the width of one decking plank, stuck them back in place with some 3-inch wood screws, cut off the excess from the supports and replaced the decking. This top step is really just an extension of the decking, and it has plenty of support from underneath as well. The hardest bit of this was leaving my jigsaw blades at home and not having anywhere near the cutting depth I needed, requiring some accurate marking, finishing with the multi-tool and occasionally cutting in from both sides. This new fourth step will be the tallest, so I used the same initial method of cutting 2 risers from these huge boards and a really solid section from the old decking slope reclaimed to make a cross brace. I stuck this back in place to test the fit and gauge how high we needed to raise it up by. I hoped to stick a bit of 2x3 on the bottom of each riser, and right as I started this, my phone ran out of space and recording cut out, so here we go. A few minutes later, we've secured these pieces in place using a second cross brace and some steel T-brackets. After putting the step back in place, it still needed raising a few more inches, but the weather had other ideas. I had a bit of an arty play with the macro lens and some pretty flowers in the rain before remembering I had all the power tools still out, and they don't like the wet, so we ran away to hide inside for a bit. A few hours later, we were dry again, so back to raising this step a little bit further. I cut 2 more pieces of timber and drove screws in at an angle to hold them in place. And I put a couple of wide L brackets on the inside to stop the risers from skewing. Whilst here, I also stuck a few extra L brackets between the decking and risers for the same purpose. So there we go, bit of an ugly looking beast, but all made from scrap and the timber reclaimed from the old decking slope. We've got some cladding coming to finish off the fronts, but for the meantime, once we've got rid of these horrible white ridge things, we're good to go. Good to go crack on with the other random bits and bobs, like fixing Mum's cupboard door handles that have been unusable for literally as long as I can remember. Admittedly, she does have an awesome collection of mismatched handles though. Next job, tearing up and replacing a rotten piece of decking. Pretty easy one this. I tried unscrewing the decking, but it was so rotten and corroded the screw heads had disappeared completely, so a bit of destruction was the way forward. Once I had the decking plank up, I saw how bad the rot really was. I didn't have the timber to do much about it, other than make sure I screwed the new plank down through the rot into the solid timber underneath with massively overkill screws, hoping that'd do us until we could replace the supports underneath. Needless to say, this will likely be a future project within the next couple of years. A quick tidy up and we're done with all the great outdoors and onto a few bits and bobs around the house. My mum spent so much time showing off the secret bookcase door I'd made her that she's broken the latching mechanism already, so the plan was to make a much more solid bolt for the latch and reinforce the door frame to keep it secure. and then just bung a few screws through the door frame moulding into the main frame timber. I'd left my angle grinder at home, so I was thankful to be able to borrow one to cut this rod down. We've got a new bolt, strengthened the door frame, drilled out a deeper hole, and now we're going to cram as much No More Nails stuff into it as we can and leave it to cure whilst we crack on with the next one. Painting the patch in the middle of Mum's bathroom ceiling that no one can reach before being attacked by the pugs. Two more to go now. We're making the locking mechanism for a wooden storage trunk out of a carabiner and an old climbing nut. Making this lock was pretty fun. Mounting the nut on its original cord through the top, and then the steely through the bottom with a screw-in eyelet. I did point out that to be fully functional we might need to put hinges on this box, but hey, she was happy with it just looking cool. And finally, drilling out her new incense holder so it actually holds incense, and discovering the holder wouldn't hold incense because it was holding onto old incense. And on that tongue-tied note, I'm not your average Joe. Check out my other video projects on YouTube, and I'll see you in the next one.